Hello, this is Sandy. I'm in Philadelphia today, and I'm making a little impromptu video to talk about all of the great resources for your research here in Philadelphia. Whether you have ancestors who lived or worked in Philadelphia or came to America through the port, or if you're just an American who's really into American history and the history of our country, Philadelphia has some fantastic resources for your research. I'm here at the Visitor Center, and you can see this is the Independence National Historical Visitor Center. The National Park Service has exhibits here, and this is where you can get your National Park Service passport stamped with, I think, 12 different stamps for different locations around Philadelphia. But let's come outside and just talk a little bit about resources here in Philadelphia. And we're really lucky. Got a sunny day today. So here on Independence Mall, you have the National Constitution Center, the Visitor Center that I just visited, Independence Hall, and to the far right is where the Liberty Bell is. So what can you learn in Philadelphia? Well, all over the city, you'll find preserved architecture. You'll find historic signs. You'll find examples of homes built in the federal style, the Georgian style, which is also the colonial style. At the Philadelphia Museum of Art, you'll find rooms that are decorated in various historic periods, not just in American history, but with decorative arts from all over the world. So the Philadelphia Museum of Art is a really nice resource for your research. I apologize for the wind. Here are a few other important resources that you can find in Philadelphia. Not every immigrant to the United States came through Ellis Island. I know that's a myth. I think some people really think that every immigrant had to come through Ellis Island. The Port of Baltimore and the Port of Philadelphia were also important ports of entry. So in Philadelphia, you can visit the site of the immigration station. It's called the Washington Avenue Immigration Station at Pier 53. The building is no longer there, but the pier is. And there's a trail with some interpretive plaques that you can take to walk down to where the pier was and go out onto the reconstructed pier. It's right next to the U.S. Coast Guard station on Washington Avenue. So check that out. The Philadelphia City Archives is located on Spring Garden Street, not too far from here. And so if your research leads you to the archives, make sure you make a day of it in this area. The National Archives also has a facility here in Philadelphia. So when you're doing your research, you might find that the record you need is not at the National Archives site in Washington, D.C. or College Park or St. Louis. It might be here in Philadelphia. All across the city, cemeteries are everywhere. Historic cemeteries provide some really great insights into family structure, religion. The inscriptions are sometimes poetic and very interesting. And even if you don't have an ancestor in those cemeteries, I find them to be really great to visit. Other resources for Philadelphia are cataloged and described on the Pennsylvania Genealogical Society's website. They have an entire list of resources for Philadelphia. I like just walking through the neighborhoods and seeing the different architecture. I do not have an ancestor who came through Philadelphia, but I learn a lot by visiting the kinds of homes that were also typical to Boston, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore, where I do have ancestors. I mentioned the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Obviously, there are many other museums here in the city that could provide some great insights for your research. I'll put additional links and resources in the description to this video. I had actually hoped to make this as a live stream. I was hoping to have my very first live stream on the Primary Sources channel. But when I went to start the stream, I got a notice that said you had to wait 24 hours for your first live stream. So this is a video. We'll have a live stream next time from the next city I visit. I wish you all the best in your research. I hope to meet you someday out here in the field.